After 20 years as missionaries in the Belgian Congo, Abe and Mary Croker arrived in Metz, France. They had hoped to find tracts explaining the gospel in French for the Congolese, but to their surprise, they could only find a few titles in black and white, resembling newspapers or funeral announcements. With the help of some high schoolers who came to their home for a Bible study, they started translating several American tracts. Thus began an adventure creating and commercially printing Christian literature in French to mail to friends in Africa. When the Crokers' residence permits for France were denied, the Lord opened the door to move to Belgium. Abe still desired to return to the Congo with biblical resources in French. Some Belgian friends encouraged him to set up a Christian publishing house in Belgium. Efficient postal service would make it possible to send literature to missionaries around the French-speaking world. Miraculously, they were able to rent an old chateau. Meanwhile, Abe's son Clement, also known as Bud, had been studying journalism at Wheaton College to establish a printing operation in the Congo. But God led him and his new wife Charlotte to join Abe and Mary in Belgium. Christian friends of the Crokers formed a Belgian board, which was the beginning of Éditeur de Littérature Biblique, or ELB. In the US, that board became known as Biblical Literature Fellowship, or BLF. A donor gave the exact amount of money needed to buy the first press, and soon they started printing colorful 4-page tracts in French, which they folded, stuffed by hand into envelopes, and sent to hundreds of awaiting believers. ELB's vision was to print and distribute literature ordinary people could understand wherever French was spoken, publishing the message of Jesus Christ, which is the power of God for the salvation of all who believe, as Paul writes. Abe managed correspondence, prepared and drove packages to the post office, and made trips to speak in U.S. churches. Mary did the bookkeeping. Charlotte helped adapt Christian education materials in French, and Bud ran the presses and did the photography and editing. Eventually, the chateau became too small, but God once again miraculously provided the funds to buy land in Braine-l'Alleud. Once the owner learned ELB planned to print Bibles, he gave them a special price, and a Christian architect donated time to draw up plans. This new building allowed for office space and larger, more functional machines, including folders, a paper cutter, a stitcher, and a 2-color press. The Croker family was now complete, with 6 kids who loved to help out at the print shop. Once the bookstore was set up, there was more space to display French and English books and Bibles. God blessed and protected ELB, giving the wisdom and strength to get the job done. The bookstore became well known among Belgian churches, and the Billy Graham Association ordered 600 packages of books in French to give to African evangelists. In 1989, Abe and Mary passed away within 4 months of each other. Bud and Char continued the editing and printing of Christian literature in French with the help of a wonderful team of Belgian employees and missionary families. With the help of Andre Laus and Russ and Mary Ann Miller, who lived and taught in Africa, the ELB team started adapting the French Sunday school material for Africa, with pictures of African children and culture-specific vocabulary. These materials continue to be in high demand. In 2001, Harry Enns and his team founded BLF Canada to meet the needs for literature in Francophone Canada, Haiti, and beyond. In 2006, the Slavic Gospel Mission merged with ELB to become BLF Editions. Based in Marbon, France, BLFE went on to supply Christian literature to 80 countries. After retiring from ELB, Bud, Charlotte, and a few Belgian friends formed the non-profit Congo Open Heart. On 14 trips to the DRC, including villages where he grew up, Bud took Bibles to pastors and other leaders. Saddened by the lack of Christian literature and Bibles there, he said, "I've spent 50 years of my life producing Christian literature and, coming here, I find that I need to start all over again at age 73.